It was an item so mundane it should have been overlooked. A single sheet of cream-colored stationery, filed not within the hallowed pages of the royal archives, but misfiled among the routine correspondence of a long-retired private secretary. That is, until the Princess Royal, Princess, and the late Queen's most trusted confidant found it. And what it allegedly contains, according to sources close to the king's sister, doesn't just rewrite a chapter of royal history. It sends a seismic shock directly towards the heart of the current monarchy, and specifically to Queen Camilla. This is Royal Report 24/7, and if you believe the most explosive secrets are often hidden in plain sight, then you need to hear this. Stay with us until the very end, and if you want unfiltered, deep-dive royal analysis, subscribe and hit the bell now. What we're about to reveal is the kind of story that changes legacies. To understand the thermonuclear weight of this alleged discovery, we must first journey back to the most turbulent period of the late Queen's reign, the 1990s. The era of the so-called War of the Waleses. Charles and Diana's marriage was disintegrating in the most brutally public way imaginable. Tabloid headlines were daily grenades. Squidgegate, Camillagate, Diana's famous. There were 3 of us in this marriage interview. The institution was rocking, its public esteem plummeting. And at the center of the storm, beyond the tragic figure of Diana, was the then Camilla Parker Bowles. Publicly, the Queen's stance was one of stoic silence, of hoping for a private resolution. She famously urged the couple to divorce. But behind the scenes, according to royal biographers and former courtiers, Her Majesty was deeply, personally anguished, not just by the damage to the crown, but by the pain of her son and the mother of her grandchildren. The conflict was between her duty as sovereign and her instincts as a mother and grandmother. And it is within this crucible of private torment, our sources claim, that this letter was written. And here is where the claims become breathtaking. 2 separate sources with links to the royal household have indicated, not on the record, but in clear, alarmed terms, that the letter is not a draft or a fragment. It is a complete, heartfelt, and devastatingly clear, private memorandum of the Queen's feelings at the height of the crisis. And its central subject is Camilla. While the full contents remain, for now, locked within the royal circle, the consistent thread from our sources is this. The letter allegedly expresses the Queen's profound and settled belief that Camilla's relationship with Charles during his marriage was the destabilizing, unforgivable factor that made reconciliation impossible and inflicted irreversible damage on the monarchy. We're told it goes beyond the polite, veiled disapproval the public suspected. It is described as a raw indictment, using words like calculated, insidious, and speaking of a willful blindness to duty. Most damningly, one source claims it contains a line that has now frozen the blood of modern courtiers. A stated wish that Camilla should never carry the title of queen, as her presence on the throne would represent the ultimate reward for what the Queen privately viewed as a grave betrayal of the institution's core values. The immediate question is, why would Princess reveal this now? And this is where the analysis becomes a high-stakes chess game, and is famously discreet, the embodiment of never complain, never explain. But she is also, say those who know her, fiercely protective of her mother's true legacy and the health of the institution itself. Insiders speculate on several motives. First, and most sympathetically, it could be a matter of historical integrity. And, aware the letter exists and could be discovered by a future, less sympathetic archivist, may have chosen to control the narrative, to present it within the full, painful context of her mother's anguish, rather than let it be a bomb detonated posthumously. Second, and more critically, it may be a direct intervention in the current reign. King Charles's monarchy, while stable, has had a rocky start, marked by the Sussex rift and his own health battles. His determination to have Camilla crowned beside him was as non-negotiable, the final chapter in their love story. But what if a significant faction within the firm, represented by its actions, believes this legacy is built on a foundation the late Queen herself morally opposed? This wouldn't just be family gossip. This would be a constitutional and reputational crisis of the highest order. The revelation undermines the very legitimacy of the queen consort's position, casting it not as a gracious evolution, but as a posthumous defeat of the late queen's will. The tension, we are informed, is now palpable behind the gilded walls. Courtiers loyal to Charles and Camilla are reportedly in a state of controlled panic, scrambling to formulate a response should the letter's contents leak publicly. Their strategy, for now, is a wall of silence and aggressive discrediting of the rumor. Meanwhile, sources suggest an older, more traditionalist cohort within the household. Those who never fully embrace Camilla's rise see Anne's move as a necessary, if brutal, correction of the historical record. They believe the queen's true feelings deserve to be known, even if it shatters the carefully crafted happy ending narrative. And what of Camilla? Insiders paint a picture of a woman wounded to her core, but projecting steely resolve. She has, after all, endured decades of public hatred to reach this pinnacle. But this is different. This isn't tabloid mudslinging. This is the voice of the institution's ultimate arbiter, her own mother-in-law, echoing from the grave. One palace watcher noted, "For Camilla, this isn't about a title. It's about her place in history, her hard-won acceptance. This letter, if real, threatens to strip all that away and define her forever as the queen's greatest regret. The ramifications are endless. Could this affect the public's perception of Charles's judgment? Does it empower those who still hold Diana's torch? And most intriguingly, what does it say about Princess Anne's view of her brother's current leadership? Her action is not one of a supportive sibling. It is a sovereign-level challenge. This story is still unfolding in the shadows. There is no official document, no press conference, only whispers, denials, and a chilling sense that a foundational stone of the current monarchy has been cracked. Princess, and the steadiest of royals, has not thrown a grenade. She has, according to these reports, simply removed the pin and placed it on the table for all to see. The question now is who will be forced to pick it up. This is the real drama of monarchy. Not the glittering crowns, but the hidden letters. Not the orchestrated smiles, but the silent wars waged in archives and anterooms. A single sheet of paper, guarded by a princess of unshakable principle, now holds the power to unravel a king's dearest dream. If you're captivated by these depths, by the secrets that truly shape the crown, your front row seat is here. Subscribe to Royal Report 24/7. Ring the bell for every breaking development in this story. And if this revelation chilled you, share this video. Because in the world of royalty, the past is never truly past. It's simply waiting for the right person, like a princess royal, to find it.